I don't care if you've been messing around with all them sinners theories all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Kr0nus and Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista. Smoke me on fam with all the danks to dank. Choking people out on threes and fours. Kr0nus?
Just saying, if you're a Hall of Famer slinging around that 54-year-old dusty nuts, you could do it to like not a thought. That's maybe Louisiana 7. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, we got a bunch to break down.
I'm not kink shaming, but I would assume that Shannon Sharpe would have had a higher quality of lady in his repertoire.
It seems like, let's just dive on in. It seems like he was just sticking down any and everybody, like just doing the most with that.
Yeah, give me one. Hold your thought real quick. Give me one.
Okay, no worries.
All right, back.
Okay. Unc Shay Shay was out here being real reckless with it. I will also say at the same time, Tony Busby is a shifty lawyer. Like we just saw this last year with Jay-Z. He has an MO of getting shiesty, unvetted clients to say anything for money sometimes. But Uncle Shay certainly does himself no favors by making stupid, reckless decisions with 19 years old when you're 54, man. That literally could be like your grandkid.
Yeah, that's like
it's legal, but it doesn't feel good to say out loud, especially as we're getting older. I'm like, damn, just no way.
Well, because like I don't know about you, but like for me, when I see somebody that's like pretty much less than 30, they all look like babies to me. I'm not like literal babies, but you look like really young to me. Yeah. It's just I don't know what it is. It's just something I've noticed as I've gotten older. It's not for like everyone, but like most people. Because I know some folks that are like younger now, like kind of dress older, which is kind of weird, but you know.
Well, the biggest thing for me, and again, I'm not out here in these streets right now, but
it's not great.
I believe you, but it's like also the conversation. You know what I mean? Like for whatever reason, let's say you're bringing up, I don't know, like where you were during 9/11. They're like, oh, I wasn't born yet. You know what I mean? Or I was 2. You know, it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's that.
You know, like what do you relate to with someone who was born in 03? You know?
I mean, you saw their chats. She was like, put a black baby in me. I'm like, oh, man. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, pretty.
Put a dog collar on her and like choke. I was like, man, I mean, I'm not gonna kink shame, but they do that to like a 19-year-old. It's like, you know, yeah. I mean, again, let's just call it what it is. She's not old enough to drink, and you're gonna trust her with too much information. Yeah,
like enough information to bring you and your entire media personality down is really, really foolish. But I will also say again, Busby is shady, like flat out. Like he's been in danger of losing his license multiple times to practice law. That's how shady he is. But we'll see.
I don't know. See. You know, he's doing his thing. Honestly, I'm kind of glad, but also not kind of glad that he just like was like, here's all the texts. You know, just check all this stuff out.
Yeah.
Like the first thing I saw when he was like, when it said that she wanted to get choked, I was like, well, you know, some chicks like getting choked. And then like once he grabbed the whole thing, I was like, oh, see, she's one of them. So this is not some foreign thing. Like these things occur.
But my only issue is he has grown adult children. Like imagine being a family member of his and being like, hey, Grandpa, why do I know that, you know, what sexual positions you like and what you like? I don't need to know this. You know what I mean?
And why is Shannon Sharpe paying for ass?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
that's true.
I find that very odd, you know? Like,
Yeah.
maybe that's like a thing that he likes to just do, but I'm just like, you know, I the guy is pretty good looking for his age. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
women should be knocking down his door to get to him, and he's like going out and paying
Yeah.
for it.
Rich, in shape,
Yeah.
on TV. I mean, I get it. And I want to be really careful, as I say this, because it's going to come across a little rough, but why aren't you looking for a partner rather than someone who literally gets paid to showcase himself? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think this is the weird thing about it, because I could talk about like the dating world like this age. Obviously, he's a bit older than me, but it's like,
yeah,
you get to a certain point where like I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there, where it's just like
mm-hmm.
whatever. Like you're not gonna find like your person anymore. You're just gonna like just bust
Yeah.
random nuts. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and there's people out there, a lot of people out there that are like that. They're just like they're not gonna find the person, so just gonna have casual sex as much as possible, and that's a reality that exists in the world today. So
I'm fully there with you. I guess it's so risky, not from an STD standpoint, but just from the standpoint of releasing audio, releasing text, all this other stuff,
yeah,
to just trust somebody who essentially is a stranger. You know what I mean? When
yeah.
you're this famous, this rich, like, but we'll see. And then on the other hand, not that I'm trying to completely change the subject, I'm sure we'll flip back and forth. Then you got Yeezy out here,
Oh man,
literally just,
that was
I
hard.
guess it was on a song talking about going down on a underage cousin for years.
Well, he was he was underage, and his cousin was not.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
that was hard to read. I'm like that, but it explains so much, because this guy's been through like so much trauma in his life, and this is I'm not giving the guy any excuses. Like just because he went through trauma doesn't mean it's okay to like be a literal fucking Nazi. So
Yeah.
he needs help, and I hope that he finds it. He had hope for a while, but he's obviously off of his meds. He's not doing what he needs to do to like keep himself mentally healthy, and he's just causing and this is not helping.
I'm with you, and I've been on the Ye is crazy, Kanye is crazy, not mentally ill for a while now. But I'm also going to say, on top of all that, he's not a good person. He just isn't.
No,
Like,
yeah, no.
He's an evil, fucked up person, and the slavery is a choice. We can go down the list. The slavery is a choice. The wearing the swastika, the stuff with the wife at the award show. It's real bad, ugly shit over and over and over again. He wants attention. I get that, but I don't think, even beyond the meds, I don't think he's someone who's healthy mentally or spiritual in any way. I think he's just a really bad guy.
Well, I mean,
I really do.
Well,
I
it's
don't
crazy
think
because
there's a whole lot of in him.
Yeah, I mean, he used to be a decent dude. Like he used to make really good music, and like now
Yeah.
he's on my blacklist. Like if a Kanye West song comes on, it's skip. If a Drake song comes on, it's a skip. If a R. Kelly song comes on, it's a skip. It's just like I'm not listening to your bullshit. Even though what you made then was great, the person you are now is a really shitty person. And
And the truth be told, behind the scenes, they were shitty even back then. You know what I mean? Like I think there was probably just stuff that was better hidden in some of those earlier days and earlier eras. But you get older, you learn more, and you move on. But it's wild. Like nobody asked for this information.
No.
You know what I mean? That's like latest information. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, that was like that was honestly that's a it's a self-own, or what do they call it? Like I forgot what they called it in like sports. Unforced error.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Nobody. You know who need to know that? Your fucking therapist. That's who needs to know that. The rest of the world doesn't even know that. That's just. I just feel bad for the guy, but also fuck that guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ugh. All right. Well,
yeah.
On that note,
we just went like off the deep end, like right away. So apologies, but also these are pressing topics.
These are fucking hot topics,
and you know what I hate is that the fact that these are two black men, that we're kind of talking shit about, and it's just like,
yeah,
I need them to do better,
Yeah,
obviously, the Shannon Sharp thing, like nothing he did was technically illegal, so it's like whatever. And technically, I guess neither did Kanye. Nothing he did was, well, I guess when he was a kid, but he was being preyed upon, whatever. But they're just not showing like the best light of what we can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
it's embarrassing.
It's just a shame. Yeah, it is. It is really embarrassing.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be this way, but
you know what it is? It's a lack of like understanding and like real, just like critical thinking. More so on the Shannon Sharp side, because I think he's more mentally together than Ye is.
Absolutely. But I'm obviously I'm not a psychologist or whatever, but there's some weird self-esteem issues. I'm just gonna say it. Like, you're this age with grown children. She's a 19-year-old OnlyFans. Like,
yeah.
You're on TV. You shouldn't on most levels relate to or even trust someone that soon with that with some of those giant red flags. You know what I mean? Like, I would expect someone of that age to be like, let me keep you at arm's distance. You know what I mean? Like, you're real young, and how the hell is this gonna look, and how would this work out? And it's not like this was just a one-time thing. This was an ongoing hookup thing.
Yeah, there's text chains, and it's just like, all right, bro, it's being risky, throwing slaying that dick around, being risky.
And here's the other thing too. Then I gotta watch fucking Shannon Sharp on TikTok. He's a huge gas station dick pill seller. I swear to God, he sells. It's not like the Rhino 9000.
Okay, I was gonna say.
It's like red. He's got
the Bronco. The Bronco.
It's a red red Bronco something. He's like, you can go all night and all this other freaky shit. I'm like, bruh, you're about to collect AARP, man. What the fuck?
Oh my God, you must be spitting my beer. Like, seriously. I mean, get the nuts while you can. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm pretty sure he'll never have prostate cancer.
No, but is it this serious? Like, you know what I mean?
Apparently it is. Like, he's got priorities. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've all been the big horny, but not I'm gonna sell gas station dick pills on TikTok and then make 19-year-old OnlyFans.
Honestly, I don't care about the selling dick pills thing, but yeah, banging the 19-year-olds thing, that's like, that's morally slippery. So yeah, like, I just like, what the fuck do you talk about?
Yeah,
like, seriously, like, how was graduation last year?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you talking about?
Remember high school?
Yeah.
For me, it was in the 70s. Oh, for me, it was 2005 or 2022. Like, you know what I mean?
No, it's 2024. That's she's 19. That's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus
God
Christ.
damn. Actually, yeah. So she was in fucking high school during the last years of Rona. Like,
when before she was born, he was like winning Super Bowls.
God damn,
I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? That's like,
Christ.
That's a lot. And he's got kids that are probably like older than her. So
yeah, I mean, here's the other thing too. There is a social stigma that you're social taboo for a good reason. In not everywhere, not in all time periods, not in all cultures, not in all states, but once you get to a certain age, the young adults, like, it's weird, male or female. You know what I mean? Like, even with the cougar stuff, or whatever, if your partner can't even drink and you are literally able to get the discount at Denny's, what the fuck is going on? All right. For anybody asking, obviously we don't have Blue, we don't have Old Ninja, but we had to cast for y'all. So, and we got a bunch to go into.
We do, because there was a fantastic movie that we both watched. Andor came out. There's a bunch of other shit that happened this week.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a lot. I actually got to see you in person.
Yes.
Over the past week, which was great.
Dude, that was fun.
Yeah, that was so much fun. So you want to get into that?
Yeah, man. Let's get into it, man.
Yeah, let's talk about the greatest sensation in blackness in a good long time. All right, one of the greatest. I'm gonna say it's probably the greatest black movie of like this maybe century, probably like decade at least.
Yeah, yeah. That's not hyperbole.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Black Panther was great.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is better. So we're talking about Sinners, by the latest Ryan Coogler movie, and it was black as fuck, and I loved it. I linked up with Prodigy and his wife and some of their friends, and this movie was like, I don't like using the term cinema very much because it seems very snobbish, but you know what? I'm gonna look down on all you motherfuckers. You haven't seen it. This is peak cinema right here. Like, yes. you sit down and they set up things so well that right when the very beginning happened, I'm not going to spoil the whole movie or anything like that for anybody, all right? But in the very beginning, a scene happens where somebody drives up in a car and you think everything's okay, and it takes you a second to realize that everything is not okay with this person. Like some shit occurred to this person. And then all of a sudden they go through like just this whole scene, and then it says the day prior. So it sets up literally the events of this movie happened in the span of a single fucking day. And I love that right from the jump.
You're absolutely right. First of all, it was great seeing you. Great doing it in that fun group. We saw it in IMAX. I think everybody should try to do that. Obviously,
okay, hold on. I got to be clear here. We saw it in like baby IMAX. We didn't see it in like Well, I'm gonna go back and watch it again in real IMAX.
I was gonna say, and even when we were in there, I commented to Mishka. I was like, "This ain't no real IMAX. This is that fake IMAX bullshit."
Yeah, the real IMAX is in is it Kearney Mesa? Yeah, it's like right off the freeway.
The big one.
Yeah, so off 15.
But this one is, and again, I want to be light on spoilers because a lot of people didn't see it, or didn't have an opportunity to see it opening weekend, which was last weekend. And I think a bunch of people are going to see it this weekend because the word of mouth is fucking incredible from both critics and audiences. But it was the number one movie in at least the U.S., maybe in the world, this past weekend. Michael B. Jordan. This is not a spoiler, I don't think. If you've seen even a trailer, he plays two roles. I'll say that. Right? I mean, I think that's fair.
Say that again. Sorry, I was reading something.
Michael B. Jordan plays two roles. That doesn't give anything away.
Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't give anything away at all. And it wasn't like... It's funny because like right in the very beginning, they kind of fucked with everybody to like, there's a scene just the first time you meet him, and it's just like, it's incredibly cool the way they did this. And I think that it's like the way that he gets to play like kind of two different personalities is kind of neat. They're kind of close, but they're still two distinct personalities. One's a Blood, one's a Crip. I'm just saying,
Yeah, exactly. There's a ton of backstory, and you have to pay attention. This is not one of those movies where you doze off or whatever. It goes in slowly to build the world, but you are engaged right off the bat in terms of who are these characters, what's the setting. Okay, it's opening up, but it doesn't take the time to explain things that you should fucking know, like, hey, it's dangerous in Mississippi for the black community or a black man to be even talking to a white woman outside. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you don't know that about 1930s Mississippi, then I don't know, obviously. I will also say this again, not giving spoilers. I want as many people to see it as possible. And then by next week, I'm sure we'll do a deep fucking dive, a real dive on it. This is a fucking all-star cast. And I was not familiar with everybody in it, but it's more than just Michael B. Jordan playing the two roles. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was good to see. I think her name is pronounced Wunmi. She was in was it Lovecraft Country?
Yep.
I love her. She's like, I think she's beautiful. So like it's good to see her and like getting more roles now. And she was fantastic. Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
She was great too. The guy that played, was it Cornbread? Is that the guy's name?
Yeah.
He was great. Seeing Delroy Lindo, I haven't seen that dude in like forever in a movie. Me personally, but it was good to see him again. Every time I see that guy, I think of like so many movies from. I think of actually Malcolm X, probably like the first thing that comes to mind. But like a bunch of other movies too. It was good to see him still acting. There's like a lot of really good actors, and the guy that played. There's a person that's a musician in the movie. I don't know what the actor's name is, but he fucking knocked it out of the park. Like,
Absolutely.
For real.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. There are people who would not consider themselves fans of the blues. Obviously, it's a genre that was way more popular in, 70, 80 years ago or whatever. But you're going to leave this movie, I think, at least if you're like me, very much appreciative of the blues and its place in musical history and Black history and all of that. There's some just fucking jams that are played that are interwoven through the story.
Oh yeah,
music plays a huge fucking role. And then really quickly too, I'll also say when you talk about Delroy Lindo, do not sleep on him when it comes to he's a phenomenal actor, but don't sleep on him when it comes to watch him in The Five Bloods.
Oh, I haven't watched that movie yet, but I know him and Chadwick Boseman. I still haven't watched that yet. I need to watch it.
Yeah. That's more his movie than anybody else. I think he's like top billing on that one, and he does a phenomenal job. But I hadn't really seen him since then. But it was great to see him in this. Everybody in it, even actors that I wasn't familiar with, knocked it out of the fucking park. So
music is a very big part of this. Part of this movie. There's a scene that is probably one of the best scenes I've seen like in a long time. It has to do with music, and it's all shot in like one shot, and it's so fucking. I don't think most people probably don't understand like when things are shot in like one shot, how hard that is to do. And there's a couple of like really long one shots that are in there sprinkled out in the movie, and one of them is like one of the best scenes that I've seen in decades, where it's just like going through. We'll talk about it next week, but it's like going through like a lot of stuff. Musically, and it's fantastic. The way that they just shot it, and I know that there was like not the videographer, but the person who was actually directing like the actual scenes. She's a woman that Ryan Coogler hired, and she did a fucking great job. And also Ruth Carter did the costumes for this, who I interviewed and I fucked it up, so I never released it. But yeah, she's great.
She's so amazing. Obviously, she the famous person. What's the actual title of someone who does that role for costume
designer? Yeah, I think it's costume designer. Yeah,
the lead costume designer for Black Panther, which we all loved and shit.
Also from Malcolm X, like from way back in the fucking day.
Yeah. There you go. So she's just done an amazing job, and I'm glad that she's still with us and she's still fucking working. That's just amazing in and of itself. I will also say this. It has some action and some gore. There are horror stuff in this too,
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's hard to describe, but it's genre blending. And that doesn't make any fucking sense to people who haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But there are times when you are literally going to be laughing out loud because there's just some funny parts. There's some downright freak, nasty Shannon Sharp level, sexy, but not with the 19-year-old only fangirls, but just like grown folks talking about some sexual stuff, doing some sexual stuff. And then there's some flat out bloody horror stuff.
Well,
what I mean?
And there's like pulling on your heartstrings too, like really fucking sad, deep sadness shit that occurs in this movie, and it's just like the way that it all comes together. It's a beautiful movie, and if y'all have not watched it, I 100% recommend. It's like 10 out of 10 for me, easily.
It felt like, and again, I'm dancing around it, but it felt like, how when we see some of the latest like Kendrick videos and people are like breaking them down, or even the Super Bowl performance.
Oh yeah.
And people are saying, oh, well, actually this means this, and this means this, and that. This is a symbolism. This, did you catch this little thread? And when he said that, people have been doing that, and I've been watching a whole bunch of it online and have my own theories and whatnot. I got my notes. It's one of those types of movies, and not where it's fake and I'm trying to interpret things that are way out there, and I got my tinfoil hat. No, this was legit. There's things that I didn't even know about the Mississippi Delta, and I've read a whole bunch of books about that region. And you see certain characters, and you're just like, oh, he put that in there because it was historically accurate.
Yeah,
you know.
And there's a bunch of like book references too.
Yep.
Like a bunch of theme references that reference books. There's obviously a lot of black references. So if you're probably go with a black friend if you're not black. If you want to get like more of an experience, but also don't talk to the movie. I'm just saying. but there was a part in the movie where everybody was like, "Oh, this motherfucker!" Like seriously, everybody. I was like, "Y'all, you will know when you get to that point where everybody just like they almost like boo this person."
Yes.
But yeah, because everybody did it when we were in the movie, and there was also a jump scare that scared your wife. That shit was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that was. I was like, come on now.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like I said, I'm gonna watch it again in the proper IMAX. If y'all don't know what okay, I say this every now and again on the podcast. This is my PSA. This is how you know if you're watching real IMAX. If you're watching IMAX and you can walk up to the screen, you're not watching real IMAX.
Correct.
If you're watching real IMAX and there's literally a fucking cliff where if you like fell, you'd probably be seriously injured or fucking die, that's real IMAX.
Yep.
Okay? It's a way bigger screen.
I'll put. You're absolutely right. I'm gonna say it in my way. You have to like tilt your head to see the full screen. That's how big the fucking screen is. I don't care where you're sitting. You're like, oh, okay, let me see the upper portion. And you go like this.
Look,
let me see the
look around.
Like it's a big ass fucking screen. And it's fun to watch movies in that real IMAX setting or whatever. Obviously, a little more expensive. I get all that, but if you can swing it, make it fucking happen.
It's worth it because it was recorded in that format, and so if something is recorded in IMAX, filmed in IMAX, whatever you want to call it, watch it in IMAX. And if something has the the IMAX 40X option, watch it in 40X. I told you with Deadpool and Wolverine, I will gladly pay $50 fucking for that experience again.
Yeah,
that shit was worth it. I don't think it was actually $50, less than that, but it was worth it because it's like I was watching shit in like baby IMAX with like my seat moving around and fucking shit blowing in my face and like lightning and shit going around me. It was amazing. So like, it's an experience that you're not going to regularly experience. So just like pay the extra cost if you can afford it, once and just enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The other thing I'll say really quickly too is, it's fun to just go watch an adult movie. Like this is definitely like a real. This isn't a PG-13. This is an R. But it's not like.
Is it a hard R?
I was okay. Oh god damn it! I'm not.
Yeah,
I want to say something.
Yeah, it's okay. No, I know. I think I know what you're thinking, but yeah.
Well, what I was gonna, I will say this mild spoiler. I think, and I'll have to watch it again to be absolutely sure, but I think even in 1930s Mississippi Delta, I don't think you hear any hard R N-word from a white person in this entire movie.
No, yeah, I don't think so either. From what I remember, there was no. I don't think so. I mean, take notes, Quentin Tarantino. I'm just saying, you can do it.
Yeah. I mean, you would have believed it would be impossible to do that in that setting. You know what I mean?
Well, but what's funny though? Like, so if you go back and like remember like the whole movie, it's really not focused on like whiteness.
Of course. Yeah,
so like,
right.
I think not that there's no white people in the movie, but like there's no like underlying undertones of like the white gaze in this movie. If anything, it's almost like the opposite because there's like that'd be spoiling, but yeah. There's like white people are very ancillary, which is very weird in the South because there is actually maybe there was an N-word because there's like the person that he bought the shack from maybe might have said it, maybe not. I don't know.
From my recollection, I know he was talking about. I think he said boys.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, but even then, it's like the focus was not on them. You know what I mean? On that aspect and like what happens later on in the movie. I'm like, haha, I was waiting for that shit because I knew it was gonna happen in the end.
But But and again, very very subtle spoiler. Much like Red Dead Redemption 2, the clan is there.
Yeah,
You know what I
there.
mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. God damn it, yeah. We're gonna have to go deep. I hope Blue watches it. I know Old Ninja watched it, and I think he really enjoyed it as well. You can't avoid this one in terms of just online. Everybody's talking about it. It's just one of those movies, which I fucking love, man. It's good to have something that with this kind of buzz that's by a black director and a mostly black cast. So I'm all in favor. This is fucking exciting.
Yeah.
And I will say this too really quickly. If this does as well as I think it's going to continue to do, this has franchise written all over it. Like, there's definitely...
Oh, there's so much. Oh, my God. There's so many other things I wanted to see in the movie, like other characters and like... And I want to see an MCU, like the Ryan Coogler MCU, based on this right here.
Yep.
Because there are so many like little factions that we don't get to know a lot about. And yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, you could have this be basically the 2008 Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like the start of something, and then you go pre and post, and here's a side story about these kids. You can do all of that with this, and you don't see that with very many movies where you're like, oh, hey, I care about these characters that were only on screen for 4 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's also like, where do these other characters come from? Like, because there's a part of the movie where it's like, where did this person come from? Like, where is he running from? You see who he's running from, but like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
So and you get no answers.
All the way around, a fucking classic, a fucking instant modern classic. So I'm gonna watch it again. Loved it. But yeah, we'll definitely do a deep dive next week. So, because if you keep talking to me about it, goddamn it, I'm gonna give big spoilers. I can't help it. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this means this.
Yeah, it's a lot because I want to talk more about it too. But yeah, I mean, we're past the 48 hour mark, but also I know it didn't get like, even though the opening weekend was great for independent film, it was not like the Avengers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it didn't pull down fucking $300 million. It was like 60 max.
Yeah.
So,
but and I'll also say this too. I mean, it was also for the religious crowd. It was Easter weekend and all of that, and so
watching that on Easter weekend, that's a stretch. Yeah. But also, I'm not religious, so whatever.
No,
just saying.
But again, I would bet anyone this is going to be one of those movies that just kind of lingers for the next quite a few weeks. Yeah. In terms of like people will go back to see it, like we're talking right now about going back to see it.
Yeah.
And then people are going to go take their friends for the first time this next weekend. I think it's going to have some legs. I really do. Can we talk about Last of Us 2 episode 1?
Yeah, we can talk about
episode 2.
Episode 2, yeah, all you want. Because that was, it's weird because, all right, this episode is interesting because if you've played the game, it's both great and kind of shitty. So like, but I think like the greatness overshadowed because the shittiness is honestly it's just like one very small minuscule thing because that thing is minuscule and not yoked. I'm just saying. if you play the game, you know what I'm saying. Swole Abby was not swole.
Yeah, we got to talk. I want to be careful. This is no shade to this actress who's playing Abby. She's probably going to do a fantastic job in all of this season, maybe even into the third season of the TV series. I don't know. But for those who played Last of Us 2, which is a great game, we talked about it for literally the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Swole Abby was a phenomenon. Like,
she's controversial, but Swole Abby was the shit.
No matter what, people felt strongly. They felt strong love for her. Like, oh my God, this is a great character, great representation, great whatever. Or they fucking hated her, and despised her. But no matter what, you weren't in the middle on fucking Swole Abby.
No.
And I'll also say this with Swole Abby. Again, from the game, she had background. It's not like they just made her swole and like said, oh, we just decided that's it.
Yeah.
The haters of Swole Abby did not pay attention to that fucking game because she.
Oh, hold on! I need to be clear here. So you actually pay attention to somebody's backstory in a video game? You didn't skip the cutscenes?
For rarely do I do this, but for this one, like when it's Red Dead Redemption 2, when it's Last of Us, some of those great narrative games. Obviously, for Ghost of Tsushima, I paid attention.
Oh, that's so good, yeah.
Those I'll give a fuck. Everything else, I'll just be like, hey, give me my dildo bat and let's go. But with this one, Swole Abbey was purposely someone who dedicated her life after what Joel did through who, basically to a militia, or a standing army, whatever you want to call it, and dedicated her entire training regiment to strength, to conditioning, to being a true soldier.
To fucking what I mean? Joel up. Yeah.
She lifted and ate and fucking trained. That's what she did. That was her entire life for years, and her body showcased that.
Yep.
I didn't have any problem with that character in the video game because Swole Abbey made fucking sense. It was like, okay, this tragic thing happened to me. Well, guess what? I'm gonna fucking train like a madman or madwoman every fucking hour on the hour. You know what I mean? Like that was her fucking life. She didn't give a shit about anything else except for the training, and that's how she got fucking swole. It really wasn't all that complicated. People hated on it, but I'm like, no, you can get swole from training, the right nutrition, the right supplements. You know, like,
yeah.
You tell me if I'm lying.
No, I mean, I used to be like bodybuilder shape, so yeah, you can do it. Women do it all the time. Like they get swole as fuck. And I think that the problem is, it is hard to do. And if the actress didn't want to do it, I get that. Just put her in a fucking muscle suit. You know what I mean? Honestly, I'd have been fine with that. Just put her in a muscle suit. Like I understand that. Like you don't want to eat like a fucking shitload of protein every day and like lift weights all the time. Like yeah, it's a lot. But just put her in a muscle suit. It's way cheaper, way easier on the actress. But I'm gonna give the actress some I don't want to say leeway, but some exceptions. Okay, so the first thing is that her acting was fantastic. Okay,
absolutely,
she's a great actress. And second of all, I don't know if you knew this, but like her mom literally died 3 weeks before she filmed that scene.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and so like she 3 days before they filmed that scene was her mom's funeral.
God damn, dude.
So yeah, but obviously that happened. Like she could have got yoked, but I'm just saying, like I don't expect a woman of that stature to put on that much muscle. She's not fucking Christian Bale, who's also a fucking madman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, muscle suit, easy way out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, on a personal level, I'm sorry to hear about the loss of her mother and all of that. She can't help. She's like 5'1", 5'2". You know what I mean? She can't help. She can't help that.
Yeah.
I'm not commenting on her acting, but for those who played the game, there's definitely a visual difference. Like Swole Abbey was physically intimidating.
Yeah, she was intimidating. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, and it was intentional. It was like, holy fuck, especially in this world where you got the clickers and you got some scavengers and everybody's just kind of trying to survive. You see this chick who's swole as fuck, and you're like, goddamn, that's probably the biggest person I've seen since before the D-Day or whatever, of V-Day, whatever. Where the world changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this actress is not that, but she's acting her fucking ass off. And it's true to Neil Druckmann's kind of vision for the story as well. And it's like some things in this episode are scene for scene.
There are, but there are also some huge changes actually that Papa Bear talked about in the chat, is that the wrong person is in the room when the shit goes down with Joel.
Oh, refresh my memory.
Dina's not in the room. She's not in the game. Dina's not there. It's Tommy.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
But it's okay. It's like it's minor shit.
Yeah, but I love the fact that Tommy got more fucking badass in this show.
Oh yeah. That whole
than the game.
That whole scene of like what was the Jackson Hole getting attacked. Yeah. That was fantastic. Like the whole, like the clickers, like keeping each other warm and then like coming up to attack, like that was not in the game, but that I can remember. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I'm going to say this just loudly and real clearly. Tommy and
chick from True Blood. Yeah.
God damn it, I can't even remember her name in True Blood because it's been so many years. But I'll look it up.
Tara,
that's it.
Yeah.
Tommy and Tara, those two are way better in the show.
Yeah.
Like head and shoulders. They have more scenes. Obviously, he's fighting clickers with the flamethrower. She's a badass leading a fucking a whole fucking battalion with like the guns and the snipers and whatnot, and she's getting people to safety and all that, everything they do. And then she's also making sure that the one asshole apologizes to what's her name, for the scene in Jackson from last week with the gay slur.
Oh yeah, the old man. Yeah, the cook. He was the cook.
Yeah. I mean, I love what they're doing with them. And then the other one is the psychiatrist that Joel sees. That's new for the show.
Yep.
And I think, fact check me and correct me if I'm wrong, but her husband was Eugene.
Yes, you're correct. Yeah, and that's why it's like that huge like friction of like her, her still having to like console this guy that killed her husband. That's a lot.
Yep.
And she's also, wasn't she in Beetlejuice?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Home Alone.
Yeah.
Creek. Yep. Yeah. She's great. But this was an action-packed fucking episode. I love fucking Abby falling off that cliff, and then all those clickers in the snow. You're like, I wonder what's gonna happen. You know?
Then it happened like so fast. It was like a lot. It was like a decent build-up, and like so much happened. It was like basically two different storylines happening at the same time.
Yep.
It was fantastic. So, and that's one of the things of even though we don't get Swole Abby, we get like a lot more backstory on these other kind of ancillary characters where in the game, they're not really a major factor. It's the same thing that goes back to like, last season when it comes to like with Bill and his husband, where it's like in the game, Bill was like kind of passed through, you got your shit that you need from Bill and you just fucking keep playing the game. And he talks about his husband like briefly, but you didn't know what that was like. And the fact that they dove deeper into that. So that's why I love the show. The fact that they can give even the people that played the game this new experience with the show and to really build upon like what they already built, and that's fantastic because not everything's going to work from the game into a TV show, and I love the changes that they're making, except for Swole Abby. She might be Swole, but yeah.
But there are some like the Lodge, Jackson. Places in Jackson, the snow.
The lodge is so like scene for scene, almost.
Yeah, there's some scene for scene shit. When they put the horses in the barn, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, I'm sitting there like fucking Leo in that movie doing the point thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just good. Or even the scene with Abby where the fence is collapsing on her and she's like crawling, and the clickers I was like, oh man. But it's even more tense, in the show. I thought this fucking episode was like a solid 9.5. I mean, it was damn near fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
If only Abby had arms.
Yes.
Like
she picked up that golf club. I was like, that club looks bigger than you, girl.
Yeah, I told you. She picked up a mini golf putter, and Swole Abby picked up a 9-iron with some weights on it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I will also say, I mean, obviously it's different because it's live action and we all love Pedro Pascal, but in the game, you see, I think, a lot more blows from Abby with the golf club, I think. It's just a longer scene with that.
That was like so fucking, in the game, it was so goddamn traumatic.
Yes.
Because like that was your guy. He's literally the main fucking character. And then he's dead. It's just like, what the fuck? What am I playing right now? And the fact that you had to play as the killer, I was just like, it was so hard.
Yeah. It's a little, kind of Call of Duty, no Russian, like
I think that was kind of worse than no Russian because, like, and then a Russian thing, like, you die at the end, right? You're the bad guy and you get shot in the face. But in this one, literally, you have to play as who you perceive as the bad person. And that was like that was a lot. And to like get to know this person and like why she hated Joel and like what she was doing in her life and like that was a lot. And hopefully the people that are watching the show understand that like Joel was not a good person.
No.
Like he's really not a good person. And he actually made, Ellie not a good person. Like even a worse person.
Yeah. I don't know how the show is going to handle it, but I will only talk about the game. There are times when you feel like putting the controller down in Last of Us 2 because you're so grossed out by the decisions fucking Ellie makes.
Yeah.
Like there's some heinous shit that I don't know what the TV show is going to do, but in the game there's some heinous shit that she does and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to do this anymore, Ellie. Like, it's over. You know what I mean? So,
but it's like this game is like the perfect example of like an eye for an eye makes the world blind.
Yep.
If all you see, and this is what happened, you see it in real life, all the time. It's like if I've talked about it before on the podcast, like if you go to any war, and no matter how anti-war or like kind of chill you might have to be, like once your buddy gets killed, like you're like fuck that, like that's the enemy now. Like it doesn't. There's the circumstances don't even matter anymore. Like that's the person, that whole group. That's who I'm going to try to kill because to get back from like my buddy that died. And you can't. It's very hard to like break that loop of violence.
Yep.
And this show does a really good job of like showing like the consequences of choosing violence all the time and on both sides.
Yeah.
And I hope that people like really sit down and understand. Like one of my favorite animes of all time is Vinland Saga. Did you watch all of that?
I did not watch all of it. I saw, I think, more than half of season 1. I need to go back, but keep going. Well, and you could. It's okay to spoil it. It's been around for forever. Go ahead.
I'll mildly spoil it for you, but like it gets to a point in Vinland Saga where like it was a child soldier. He was a badass. He could kill like basically anybody, but he gets to a point in his life where he's like, I'm just gonna fucking put the knives down. To stop the cycle of violence.
Yeah.
And people have a hard time doing that because they want that revenge, but sometimes like if your revenge could lead to your revenge or to someone else's revenge. And it's like the cycle just keeps fucking going. And you'll see it in this show. People think that they have righteous fucking fury and what they're doing is right. But it's like your righteous fury is somebody else's, cause, like call to insurgency or call to, terrorism or whatever, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
You're absolutely right. And there's going to be some atrocities and some like cringy, I can't believe so-and-so did this moments all over the show, especially this season. But I'm also going to tell you this in terms of things to watch out for if they follow the same path as the game in terms of the source material. It gets into cults real well. I think they do an amazing job talking about cults, both from a, obviously every cult thinks that they're right and they have the whole in-group versus out-group. But what's acceptable in this cult, what's not acceptable in that cult? Can you be yourself in that group? Yeah. Can you not be yourself in that group? Abby deals with some cult stuff. Some new characters deal with some cult stuff. Ellie deals with some cult stuff. There's a whole lot of groupthink, and there's not that many humans left. Yeah. And there's a whole aspect of what are the rules that you should be adhering to in these new, smaller societies.
Yeah.
So right now they're still in Wyoming. So yeah. And here's the other thing too. There's going to be a lot of different locations this season too, if it follows the game.
Yeah. So I don't know if you knew this, but like when they filmed this, they had to actually wait for like an actual blizzard to come through the area to like film. So like, all that shit was like real. Yeah. Because I was looking at Abby, little Abby, like at her face, and I was like, maybe that's really good makeup, but she looks really fucking cold. But actually, they waited for like the storm to come through that area. So I thought that was really neat.
You could tell on their fucking faces how cold it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, I thought it was makeup too at first, and I was like, nah, I don't know, because the redness of like nose cheek area.
Yep.
And like if you haven't been around fucking cold weather in a while, like me living here in Southern California or whatever, you forget. And then when you're someplace that actually is legit cold, you're like, holy fuck, my face burns, my hands burn. Like, what the shit is this?
And it's funny because I feel like, people that are melanin deficient, they get like the double whammy of like if it's sunny and cold, they get like the sunburn and the fucking cold burn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're busting capillaries and like in their face and like getting burned and like freezing. It's like, it's all bad,
Yeah, putting on sunblock when it's like 10 degrees or close to zero, whatever, none of that makes sense to, most people. But then it's like, well, the sun reflects off the snow and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All bad.
But you just got to get disinfectant to like put it in your blood and it'll fix it all. That was actually, that was today, 5 years ago, by the way.
Oh my God.
When he talked about that. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, like 5 years ago today, I guess current President Trump, he said that we can just get some disinfectant and put it in the blood. Also UV rays. So find some way to put it in the body. This is when the pandemic had just first kind of started. We were like a month in.
Yep.
Because he's a fucking moron. So yeah.
Here we are.
And he's still a moron.
And he's still in office.
Yep. This is America.
Yeah. I know Old Ninja. First of all, I love Andor. I'm glad it's back. I did not finish all of episode 1.
Me either. I was trying to watch it last night, but I had some unusual circumstances. I had a date last night, but then like other stuff happened where I had to like stay up a little later than I wanted to, and I couldn't finish the episode. But it was good. But I
definitely want to finish it off. I will say, me and Mishka were watching Last of Us first. Like last night, we were watching a couple days late.
Priorities.
And after Last of Us and that fucking thrill ride with Jackson and fucking Abby and all that other stuff, then we were like, okay, let's switch to Andor. Very different tone. You know what I mean?
Is,
like,
yeah.
It probably wasn't the night to do that shit.
Like super action, then it's like, all right, let's fight fascism, but slowly. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me go back. Let me go to fucking bed. This is hitting close to home.
Yeah, man. God damn. And the one I'm trying to get back to, but Misa doesn't want to watch with me. I do still fucking like that Handmaid's Tale.
Then you watch it without her. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm fucking doing. I was like, this is pretty good. Why didn't anybody tell me that this was like not set in the 1600s like I thought it was?
But they did. I mean, people, especially women, we talk about it for like a while.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Who listens to women though?
Yeah. Apparently nobody, because we're like we're laying the stones to like get there right now.
Yeah.
People are like, no, we're not. I'm like, but yeah, we are. Like, I wouldn't want to live in the South right now. Just, I mean, or ever, but whatever.
God damn. Yeah. It's scary fucking times. So we'll definitely do Andor more next week, probably with Old Ninja back.
Yeah, because it dropped 3 episodes, and I'm barely watched the first one. I gotta just finish. It's so good though. Like, I forgot like how good like all of the, like I said, it is the term again, but like cinema. It's like the way they set things up. Like they don't try to like get things done too fast. They make you wait, and that shit it's great.
It's grown up fucking TV. You know what I mean? Like where they trust your adult brain not to be so fucking ADD. Not that there's anything wrong with ADD, but just like give me my hit of dopamine right now. I need it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give me something exciting right now. So something violent. Something sexy. No, we're gonna tell our fucking story at our pace. It's gonna open up. Well,
it's funny. So like I started reading romance novels. Because the ladies, they read romance novels. Mm-hmm. And I realized there's a fucking pattern to these things where like they will not get to the point in the first book. So I'm like, fuck, are you fucking serious? I'm thinking like there's going to be sexy shit going on. Like, but nah, it's like you got to get past like the first book. So I got to like, I started like a lot of these series. Like I was like, on book 1, I was like, this shit is garbage. Like not garbage. I'm just like, it's like nothing is like, sexy about this, but like apparently you got to wait because it's like they're written for women, and most guys are just like we're more of like let's get to the point. So
yeah. I mean, I'll never forget seeing who was it? There was like a big porn star that did like a full feature length movie that was porn, but it had like a big budget and pirate shit. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was like Pirates of the. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, because it had like Stormy
Yeah,
Daniels and shit in there. Yeah,
yeah. And I was like, that's cool and all, but like, I don't have 2 hours to watch fucking porn. I just got,
yeah. It's like I'm trying to bust right now.
right.
And that's just like the difference between like you know the male and female brains. Like even though don't get me wrong, there's spectrums of shit, but within that spectrum, there's definitely like two different styles of like how you consume whatever form of pornography that you're going to consume, whether it's like reading it or like watching it.
Yeah, sure.
And I've noticed that, like, yeah, it's definitely a fucking theme with these romance novels. Like, hey, they're just like leading up to like. I think there's actually a lot to learn from that, which would be great at some point in my life. Not right now, but yeah, it's cool to like understand more about like what ladies actually kind of want. So yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're 19 and on OnlyFans, you like to be choked.
Yeah, no, just,
put that big black baby gravy in.
They're still playing with fucking Pokemon and Kr0nus, and they didn't even got fucking 401ks yet. I'm just saying.
You still got fucking stuffed animals and toys in your fucking bedroom.
No shit.
So
you're still out there with the Herbal Essence fucking shampoo. I'm just saying.
Actually, it's still probably your parents' fucking bed that you sleep on.
Yeah, no shit. Damn, that's embarrassing. Yeah.
So,
but it's a full bed now. It's like, but it probably was a crib. Earlier they transform.
God damn. Let's switch it up a little bit. First of all, there's some badass fucking video game trailers that we got to talk about. Ghost of, and I keep fucking, is it Yotai?
Yotai.
Yeah. I gotta get my arigato right.
Yeah.
This looks impressive as fuck. It looks fucking gorgeous. Obviously, Ghost of Tsushima set a fucking high bar. I'm down. I like this new one. It finally has a release date, right? For the first time in October, right?
October 2nd, yeah.
Yep.
And I'm all in. Like, the first one was fucking, it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm a little, and this may be a surprise later, but I didn't see anything about their raids and multiplayer kind of stuff.
See, that's where you're wrong, Prodigy, because in the first one, when they announced it, guess what they didn't announce?
They didn't announce any of that. No,
yeah, so we were just like, "Oh, really? Thank you."
But now I expect it for the franchise. You fool me once.
We'll see. If honestly, I was fine with just the regular single player. So if they do multiplayer and the raids again, that's great. But that's not what I need to play this game. I need to murder things as a samurai / ninja person. So yeah, and what's crazy is like people were saying that. The latest Assassin's Creed Shadows like looks so great. And I'm just like, bro, it looks good, but it's not. It doesn't look as good as Ghost of Tsushima. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I'm still having fun, but it's not Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, Ghost was just brilliant. I fucked up the order. The reason why I keep asking about multiplayer is that's what I started with my first year.
Late, yeah.
And then I finally just last year, 2024, played the campaign. The campaign was incredible.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's like way backwards.
Yeah, but the multiplayer, don't sleep on the multiplayer was fucking solid. Like it was one of the best multiplayer with raids and all of that and addictive stuff since for a first party Sony game, probably since like Uncharted 4.
Yeah, it was great. Give me like a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
You're gonna carry the podcast for a minute.
Yeah, no worries. But the other one I do want to touch upon while Kr0nus does his thing. We're getting Doom Dark Ages that's coming in May. I'm fucking excited about this. It looks more grounded. It looks medieval. You got your fucking shield. You got your Captain America throwing of the shield that bounces back to you. The fact that this comes out fucking next month, I don't think I'm fucking ready for it yet. But this is going to be incredible. I'm glad that this franchise keeps on fucking going and reinventing itself. I think it's going to be one of those nominees for Game of the Year if they follow in the footsteps of 2016 Doom and Doom Eternal, which was 2020. So it's been like 5 years now. But Doom Eternal still fucking playable. They had great DLC for Doom Eternal. There was just so much to fucking do on those games. It just never fucking stopped in terms of the excitement and the shooting and the different guns. I'm fucking floored for this one. It seems like we're getting nothing but bangers. We had Assassin's Creed. We had Assassin's Creed Shadows, rather. We had Monster Hunter Wilds. We're getting Doom Dark Ages. We're getting Ghosts of Yotai. We still may get Grand Theft Auto 6, although I think that's less likely as we're approaching the summertime. Like at some point, they're going to have to make a release date for that game if it's truly coming out in 2025, so that all other games can bow down and get scared and shift their release schedules, because nothing else is going to get played if GTA 6 drops. But I'm fucking down for it. Hopefully you can share in the chat which games you're fucking excited for and which ones you're fucking still enjoying and fucking with. But Dark Ages, Doom. What I really need though is the return of the franchise of Wolfenstein as well. Give me Doom, Wolfenstein, and some goddamn GTA, and that's all I need.
All right.
It's weird talking to myself for fucking.
Sorry. Yeah. What were you talking about?
I was talking about Doom Dark Ages next month. I think, right? May?
Yes.
I believe it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered it.
Yep. How could you not? Game looks fucking impressive. Looks incredible. Really excited about that one. It's been a year of some bangers so far. You got that one. You know, I'm still playing my my Monster Hunter, and then you obviously have Assassin's Creed Shadows, which impress. It's been good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pre-order the Switch 2 if I can tomorrow, because that's when the pre-orders open.
Did they take down them crazy tariffs, or are those eliminated?
Well, because Trump, he said there's no tariffs on electronics and like some other things, but they're gonna put it in another bucket. But it's not in a bucket yet. He's just lying. All he's doing is like literally bringing the stock market down so his friends can like buy in, and then like saying we're gonna reverse it to like make them millionaires and billionaires. So I know what he's doing. It's fucking bullshit. But he just caved on everything.
Yep.
Like he did it to literally just like make people rich or wealthier. And it's messed up because it's at the cost of people's 401ks. For now, they're coming back up now, but it's still nowhere near. I still lost way more than what was gained. And people, like, if you were like near retirement or in retirement, like, Jesus Christ, like your retirement was fucked for like a solid month, for nothing.
And it's still volatile right now. You know what I mean? Like everybody's kind of on pins and needles of, okay, what's he going to say today? What's he going to reverse today? What's he going to reverse tomorrow? We don't know.
Yeah. A 2 to 5% increase or decrease in the stock market is not normal, especially like every week, every day for like a solid like month. That's not normal. That's like super volatile. And it's gonna have like a lot of like lingering costs because, a lot of other countries are going to stop investing in America because of this, because it's so volatile. Because usually the reason why America is like a really good place to invest is because it's usually pretty fucking solid and stable. But right now we're not. And so you're seeing people like take their money out of like, American stocks and bonds and equities and like your banking and like all that stuff. They're going to go to somewhere else. So
it's a big planet, and there's plenty of markets that you can get a lot of great ROI or return for your money or return on investment or whatever. But yeah, I mean, we'll fucking see. We will fucking see. I was also saying when I was just fucking talking to myself, which is weird. We don't have a release date for GTA 6.
Yeah.
The later it gets in the year, we're in deep April right now.
Yep.
The later it gets without a release date, the more cloudy and possibly even doubtful that it'll release this year. Or Rockstar could just say, fuck it, without even announcing anything other than a surprise launch and still be the biggest, hottest game in the fucking world.
Yeah,
they could do both.
I was gonna say they could pull an Oblivion. Or, I'm sorry, Bethesda, which is Oblivion. So Bethesda, I think it was yesterday, they announced the remake of Oblivion, which is Elder Scrolls 4. And during the announcement, they're like, you know what? It's available today. And it really was. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. So, yeah, they just dropped it. So if Rockstar did that, it would literally that would have an economic like effect, serious effect.
I try to tell, my kid's almost 15 now, and I'm like, you don't understand. Your entire generation does not fucking understand. A Rockstar game, and obviously you got a little taste of it with Red Dead Redemption 2. Obviously that's a masterpiece. Obviously that was a huge launch and all of that other stuff. But a proper GTA launch, that not a remake, not a remaster, a brand new GTA launching like what happened in 2013 on the PS3 and 360s.
So yeah, it's weird to even say.
I mean, you just had to be there. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are calling in sick. Mom, I can't go to school. Hey, work, calling your boss. Hey, I'm sorry, I got the flu or something. And just gaming hours, all night.
It's kind of like Call of Duty, but not. Because Call of Duty is there's big two. There's a lot of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when Rockstar GTA, when they drop their games, it's like, but this honestly, this started with GTA 3. Yes. So GTA 1 and 2 are vastly different games than the modern GTA games because they were not really 3D. They were top-down games, which I played both of them on my PC. But then GTA 3 dropped, and it was having the whole 3D experience with the third-person view. It was fantastic. And then when they started dropping 4 and then 5, it was just that was a lot. 4 was a huge drop, and then 5 was just it's still making so much money right now. Still to this day, people are like, why is it taking so long to make GTA 6? Because GTA 5 is still making money, a lot of money.
Yep.
So take your time.
And they certainly have taken their time. In fact, the chaotic side of me, I want them to do a surprise release.
Yeah.
I want the world to be like, no, this is bullshit. They couldn't have dropped. People doubting it on Twitter, and then people be, Twitter or X, whatever the fuck, Facebook, social media, Twitch, everything is going to shut down, and it's going to be all fucking GTA 6. The other thing is, it's going to have this ripple effect for other games. We talked about Ghost of Yotai. Let's just say, for example, if GTA 6 drops October 1st.
Yeah. They have to move their release date. Yeah.
Fuck everything in October, November, and December.
Yep.
And I mean that. Probably even early into 2026.
Yeah.
You want to give it a wide berth. It would be sorry, to use your Call of Duty analogy, it would be like the last 14, 13 years of Call of Duty did not drop.
Yeah.
And you had all of the hype since the last Call of Duty was in 2013, and it was this great, amazing game, and you're waiting all this time, even though people are still playing it and still enjoying it, and finally they're going to drop a new one.
Yeah.
So we're going to see. We're going to fucking see, man. They're not even dropping any new trailers for it necessarily.
I think they know it's like a romance novel.
Yeah.
They're just waiting. Then you can bust. You got to wait for it. Yeah, I think Rockstar knows what they're doing, especially because they had some missteps with the remakes.
Yep.
I think that they really want to nail this launch. And all the haters that are saying oh, there's a woman in it. Look how she looks manly. Blah blah. All those people can shut the fuck up. This game is going to make all the fucking money. You can mark my words. Even if it has bugs in the beginning, it's still going to make all the fucking money. It's going to break records, and it's going to be great.
It's also, here's the other thing, you can mark my words on this. Some of your other games as service are going to see a fucking drop.
Huge drop, yeah.
So obviously Marvel Rivals, great game. It's kicking ass on Steam. It's kicking ass on Twitch and all that. Those numbers are going to drop precipitously.
Yeah.
Fucking Fortnite, PUBG, Call of Duty, all of those games, Rainbow Six, all of those games are going to drop. Destiny 2, it does not matter what the fuck you're playing as a games as service, you're going to see an impact. And it's going to be like Tesla stock drop type of impact.
Yeah. Oh man, we can talk about that too. The Tesla stock. Jesus Christ. And Tesla's actually, it went up today, but Tesla's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Tesla's fucked. Do you want to transition into that? Like talking about
Tesla?
Tesla?
Yeah, man. Speak on it.
So like, Tesla is down 71% in profits over the last quarter, which is 71% of anything. That's a lot. That's almost fucking, 3/4. Like that's a lot. And it's not even just Elon's. Obviously, he's not helping because Elon is. I'm not going to go my whole Elon spiel, but my thoughts on Elon. He's a fucking moron. Mm-hmm. And it's not just about him screwing things up with Doge and all that stuff, which is a huge factor because people don't like him as a person because he's a shitty person. But it also has to do with like the moves that has been made within Tesla. The Cybertruck is one of the greatest failures in automotive history. One of the greatest
Louder
failures.
For the people in the back, man.
Yeah. The Cybertruck is one of the greatest failures in automotive history. It is such a huge failure that they stopped making them and they had to get a government contract under the table for the government to buy them for some reason. They also just had I think it's like the 13th recall. They're recalling all of them because the panels are falling off because the glue is failing. This is glue, like literally fucking glue. Like how the fuck anyway, just cutting corners. All right. And yesterday or like maybe within like the last week, there was a news story of how Tesla is purposefully speeding up the odometers in Teslas to make your warranty run out faster so they don't have to do warranty repairs.
They don't fuck, man.
Yeah, that's like a lot of really poor business decisions. It's almost like the people that actually founded the company knew what the fuck they were doing. Mm-hmm. Elon Musk is not a founder of Tesla. He was an investor. Okay, he's not even if you look it up, it says he's a founder. He's not. He was an investor.
He sued and got real Drake-ass litigious to get things changed to pretend like he was a founder.
It's actually kind of worse than that. So is it Brian Eberhard? I forget the guy's name. It's Eberhard. I forget his first name. He was actually one of the original founders. He was the original CEO.
Yep.
And he got taken over by Elon when Elon was an investor. And even Elon, when he did the like hostile takeover thing, he wasn't the CEO. It was somebody else stepped in, but he pushed the other guy out. But the other guy was like, "Hey, I'm not getting like the money I'm supposed to get paid after getting pushed out," and so he had to go and he actually sued Tesla to get his money. And part of the agreement was Elon Musk said, "If I'm going to give you like this back pay stuff, then I need to be made as a founder," and so that's why he's a founder.
Yep.
But he's a piece of shit. So
very much so. But I got to give credit to the people.
Yes.
This was a well organized solidarity movement to take down Tesla in any way possible. Obviously, some people have the grievance of Elon making Nazi salutes, not Roman salutes, not Roman anything, Nazi fucking salutes, multiple times on TV, at the inauguration or right thereafter, whenever the fuck it was. Other people have, the safety stuff that Kr0nus talked about, and shitty vehicles. You could hate on Elon as a person, being really transphobic even to his trans children. At least he has one of them. And
having literally 14 fucking kids and like 4 baby mamas. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Shannon, Uncle Shay, pretty bad. I would say Elon is worse because with Elon, you're talking about multiple times having babies with subordinates. Again, you work for the guy and he says, I'm going to put this baby gravy in you. What are you
Yeah.
supposed to say to your boss? Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. That violates all the things. So, yeah, I mean, for, again, multitude of reasons, people have organized to do whatever they could to take down and lower this stock. And it's not just in the US where people are pissed off at Elon. It's international as fuck. Multiple other countries. Germany, France, Spain, like these places, Canada, they're not fucking around.
China. Yeah.
Like they're not fucking around. And when you have so many places that think this guy is one of the worst, and people trading in their cars and people, trying to sell them and whatnot. I know some people are underwater. It is what it is, but it's been a big time 180 and an organized, global movement of take down Tesla, and it's fucking worked. That's the thing too. Mm-hmm. People always said this shit doesn't work, but
it does work.
It means it's working.
Yeah, it really takes like a sustained thing. Like, we talked about the Montgomery bus boycotts that took like a year or more.
Yep.
And so these need to be sustained boycotts for these things to actually be successful. And Tesla as a whole, like the company is fucked. Like let me just explain to you like kind of what's really going on right now with Tesla. So like they kind of stopped innovating with like important stuff, like years ago. They really haven't innovated in battery technology. They haven't innovated anymore in charging technology. They haven't innovated very more in even just like basic car shit. Like their latest car, that was like actually like a new thing was a Cybertruck, and it was shit. It was a bad product.
Yep.
It's poorly made. And if you look at like China, they've eclipsed Tesla right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's no longer competitive, like at all. So instead of like, learning from those mistakes and like sitting down and like actually innovating again, they're using the U.S. government to cover up their like inequities. So like having the whole like, oh, BYD can't be in America or all these other, Chinese car companies, we're just going to have these crazy tariffs so they can't possibly be into the American market. Those cars are better cars than Teslas.
Yep.
Like they like literally go on YouTube and look up BYD cars and just like watch the reviews on like how much they are different from Teslas and how much better they are than Teslas. They charge faster. They can go fucking further. The interiors are better. They're better cars. And that's not me being anti-American. It's a fucking fact.
And let me just say this really quickly, because you're on the right track. A lot of these BYDs are so much cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Even when you add in the tariffs, they're cheaper. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, better quality and cheaper means you're like you said, completely fucked.
Yeah, and the only thing that's like really propping Tesla up right now is their carbon tax credit thing, because I don't know if most people probably didn't know this, but like they have a carbon tax credit program for Tesla. And so what that means is like other car companies and actually other like companies in general, they'll buy carbon tax credits from Tesla because they're near zero for like emissions.
Yeah.
And so they'll sell their tax credits to other companies. And that's why they're getting like a lot of revenue. But at some point that's going to exhaust everything, and they're just fucking it. And it's a shame because it really was a great company. Like they innovated really well, but then they just kind of sat on their laurels and they just let these other companies, catch up and exceed them, and then let the U.S. government cover up the fact that they're not innovating anymore. Like it's not a free market thing right now for Tesla. And it's sad because I don't want these people in America to like lose their jobs because of one fucking idiot decided to like not innovate. And it's even worse. He's doing like almost like the opposite innovation. He's like literally selling snake oil. Like where's the Tesla Roadster? Like where is that? He announced that shit like almost 10 years ago.
Where's the one that drives itself like on the highways and whatnot?
Full FSD is not here. Full self-driving is still not here. If you look at like he announced a fucking cyber bus That's not anywhere near here. He's talking about he's gonna make a fucking billion robots. That shit's not here. It's fucking snake oil. Where's the Model 2? The actual affordable one. That's not here. You know.
Well, and I've said this before on the cast. The thing that's amazing to me is the overwhelming majority of Teslas that were sold were in quote unquote bluish states.
Yeah, that's a huge L.
You align yourself with Trump, very visibly, and you do the Doge thing and all of that other stuff, and obviously this Nazi salute. What do you think is going to happen to the majority, not all, but the majority of your customers? Like, again, they do not sell as many Teslas, even at the height in Mississippi and Alabama and Tennessee, as they did in California and fucking New York and shit,
Yeah, that was a weird decision of like you alienated like your biggest market.
Yeah,
like people in Texas, they didn't want to fucking buy Teslas.
No,
people in California did.
Yep,
and people on the West Coast did. People on the East Coast did. You know, but the South, they think it's some like weird hippie bullshit.
Yeah,
like how the fuck are you gonna sell that shit in oil country? That doesn't make any goddamn sense to me.
Yeah. You talk. He was talking all this craziness about woke mind virus, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, okay, your customers in general, not all, they lean more blue state-ish, and you're doing this kind of stuff, and then you don't expect a backlash. And then he had the audacity, the nerve, the gall to be like, empathy is a sign of weakness, but please show empathy to me. I feel sorry for me. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Like that dude putting Tesla in Texas is literally like trying to open a church in the red light district.
Yes.
It's like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Like a 55-year-old fucking OnlyFans 19.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Just But right. He's a fucking billionaire. I guess he doesn't seem happy though.
Multi-billionaire. I will also say this too. Just speaking of the billionaires. I'm so glad that collectively we all decided to give a fucking middle finger to whatever the fucking space stuff with Katy Perry and whatnot. Like, it's just like, please don't try. Nobody's believing your bullshit. Like, this did not help women gain more rights or equal access to the reproduction rights that they lost. This was just you being rich and going up into space for a few minutes, like, or not even space, like the upper atmosphere for a few minutes. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, the whole, goddamn, I don't want to shit on it too bad because it's like I understand like it's a moment, but it's also like it's all privileged people that are doing it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's where my thought process kind of stops. It's like it wasn't like an average person doing it. It's like people that were invited to do it probably for free. Are folks that had like the enough resources to actually be able to like pay for a flight like that, and also sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say celebrate the actual female astronauts. Like the ones
who fucking astronauts.
Who put in the physical, mental, effort for years and years, training and doing engineering and science and all. Celebrate them. Like. You know what I mean? Like that is an achievement. You know what I mean? There's been plenty of them that are still alive. You can celebrate some of the first ones. You can celebrate the ones from different countries, different ethnic groups, and all. Celebrate those.
It's weird to celebrate literal passengers.
Yeah, that's
come on now. But I just I feel kind of weird about like kind of shitting on the moment because I get it, but it's like at the same time it's like they're just passengers. But then there was also idiots that were just like. They were saying, "Oh, look, they were falling in space." I'm like, okay, so first of all, they're talking about how is it in 0G? Like, okay,
yeah,
it's not fucking 0G. Even the ISS is not in 0G. If you don't understand that's not in 0G, that shows how much education you don't have. They're literally people that are in the space station. They're falling all the time. It's not 0G. They're still within Earth's gravity. They're always falling. And if you don't understand that, then you don't have a fucking leg to stand on in this like conversation.
Yeah. And then I think it was Gayle King. It was just like, she had her let them eat cake moment when she was saying, well, have you been to space? Bitch, if you don't shut the fuck up, like, come on now. Like, come on. Like, read the room. You have people who are government workers losing their fucking jobs left and right. Stock market is volatile as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, people are out here like not thriving. You know, egg prices are still fucking high. Groceries are still fucking high.
What are you talking about, bro? They literally had 30,000 eggs for the egg hunt.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the dumbest fucking thing ever. Like, what child actually wants to find a fucking egg during an egg hunt?
Yeah.
Like, that is so. Oh my god! Like, could you imagine doing an egg hunt with your kid and they don't find fucking candy in that fake ass egg?
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's your hard boiled egg. Like, what am I gonna fucking eat this and have fucking egg farts for the rest of the day? Like, what the fuck?
Rotten eggs.
That was so. That's how stupid these motherfuckers are. Like, no child wants to get, you know, a dozen hard boiled eggs. Like,
no.
What the fuck?
No, they want them Cadbury eggs.
Yeah, they want some sweets. They don't want fucking literal eggs. Like, they're so fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's silly, but yeah, I am of the mind that, hey, you know, celebrate people who actually, you know, put all the effort. Like, astronauts dedicate their fucking lives to that shit. You know what I mean? Like, they really do. We actually had an astronaut come to my work. What was it, like last month or so? And just talked about his life. You have no idea how much fucking training and studying that shit is.
Yeah, it's
like
a lot.
Average person, however much you think in your fucking head, triple that. It's just a lot. And so, you know, I'm all for celebrate the women, celebrate the men, celebrate those astronauts who have done that shit. But I'm sorry, you paying your rich billionaires to go up there, you're not getting some fucking confetti from me. And most people are just like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you know, I thought about it, like the term of astronaut, and it's just like they're passengers. Like, I don't think that, you know, if I'm on an airplane, I don't consider myself a fucking pilot.
Yeah, no shit.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's the problem. I know that Emily from like Emily's Wonder Lab, she had thoughts about it. I didn't get to hear her whole thing. I need to go back and like listen to like what she said, because she had some like thoughts on it. But I need to like listen to her point of view, because she's an actual like NASA engineer. She's also been to space, and I need to like even out like my thoughts on that. But to me, it's like, I consider an astronaut somebody that can, like, I don't know, fix some shit if something goes wrong. You know what I mean? I don't consider an astronaut somebody that just goes into space. Like, they're just fucking passengers.
Again, the amount of training and studying and engineering knowledge and physical G-force being able to handle and flight simulation, like, these are the best of the fucking best.
Maybe I'm wrong. I'm actually look up the actual term. I'm pretty sure I know what the term astronaut means, but maybe I'm wrong. So I'll look up the actual definition of what an astronaut is.
Yeah,
astronaut definitely. Maybe I'm fucking it up. Okay.
Maybe. All right. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. We'll admit it. But I know there's some people who have trained for a whole lot longer.
Okay. So the literal definition is a person who is trained to travel in a spacecraft. Okay, so I guess, had they received like any training? Like, no. Okay, here it is. So Merriam-Webster says an astronaut is a person whose profession is to travel beyond the Earth's atmosphere. That's their profession. Okay, so no. That's an astronaut. So no, they're not astronauts. So I don't feel bad anymore about not considering them astronauts. They're just passengers. The same way, like I said before, if I'm on an airplane, I'm not the fucking pilot. I'm not the engineer. Go. I'm just a fucking passenger.
Yep.
But it's still cool to fly.
Yeah. But don't go asking people making $25,000, $30,000 a year living paycheck to paycheck.
And also,
have you been to space? Get the fuck out.
And I just want to be clear, if men would have said the same thing, like guys being like, "Oh, I'm an astronaut, not now because I was on, Blue Origin. I went into like the upper atmosphere and like came back to like, no, you're not a fucking astronaut. You're not an astronaut either. It has nothing to do with like the gender of the person. It's like you can. It's not your fucking profession.
Yeah, great point. I give the same level of shade when Lex Luthor of Amazon went up there as well. Like, you know what I mean?
Nope. He's not an astronaut either. He's just some passenger that went into space.
Yeah, come on now. He didn't even act like they did in Armageddon with Die Hard, Bruce Willis, and motherfucking Ben Affleck. They blew up a fucking meteorite. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no shit.
They saved the planet.
You know, it's funny. I've been skydiving before, but you know what? I'm not a fucking skydiver because you want to know why? Because I had a guy strapped to my back that was a fucking skydiver.
There you go.
And he said, you know, without him, I'd have fucking probably died. So, yeah.
The person who trains and has done it, you know, thousands of times.
That was his profession.
Paid for it. Yeah. All right. I think that's all I got. You good, or anything else you wanted to get? We covered a lot.
We did cover a lot. Just trying to think about. I'm gonna come up to the Bay in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, I got to get my motorcycle. So I'm gonna. Blue has one of my motorcycles, and it's been at his house for like more than a year now, probably like 2 years. Oops. But he's moving, and so I'm gonna get some maintenance done. I'll probably come up for like a day, maybe two. Come up there and ride my bike back down here. Other than that, man, it was really good to see you again. We need to hang out more often. I know my brother, we talked today, and we got to hang out. Like all three of us got to hang out again and like do something.
Let's do it, man. We'll definitely. I'll put some stuff on the calendar. You know what I mean? There's a lot of. I want to go back to fucking Stone. You know.
Yeah, that'd be great. Maybe like not this Saturday because I have Riley, but next Saturday I should be. I want to say tentatively free because I'm dating, but like I should be sort of free. I hope.
Yeah, like we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. We'll get some more stuff on the calendar. But I completely agree. It was awesome seeing, and we hung out afterwards at you know what was that, a yard house? You know.
Yeah, it was good to like meet all of I think it was mostly Mark. Yeah, some of your friends too, friends and coworkers. Yeah. Good to like talk to them, and you got to meet Lando. So
yeah, man, that was good.
He's a good dude.
Shit. Really good dude. Good shit. Anything else popping this week?
This week, so my youngest she's in a play on Saturday, so that's what I'll be doing on Saturday. Hopefully I can get some jiu-jitsu in on Saturday, but then after that I have to like do my daddy duties and support her in her play. But yeah, other than that, I'm just playing Ghost of Tsushima. Hopefully I can pre-order my Switch too because I really want to get one. I think I'm pretty sure that's all I got. Yeah.
Cool. Definitely catching up on.
I'm sorry. Next week we'll have to talk about this, but JFK and his whole thing about the autism thing. I just want to give a special fuck you to that guy.
Damn. Yeah.
Special fuck you. For him to sit there and say to like people that have autism. Like, they never pay taxes, they never have a girlfriend, they're just a burden on their families, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, fucking Elon Musk, the richest man on the planet that we know of, he's autistic, and he's busting fucking all kinds of nuts and women, and he's got a bunch of money, he's the CEO of like 3 companies or 4 companies or whatever. Like, people that are autistic still have value. Like, I don't understand his whole point about that. That's made me very angry. Anyway, go ahead. We'll talk about it next week.
Definitely talk about it next week. Big middle finger to that because, goddamn, man. You know what? Just quit treating people as less than. Like, that's just the overall theme. You know, it's gross. It's unnecessary. It shows your own weird insecurities and weird inferiority complex.
It doesn't make you better. It makes you shittier.
Make you better. It really does. And in fact, it's the exact opposite. It's really about who you can help. It's really about who you can, you know, build bridges with and show support for. I mean, just everybody's doing the best they fucking can. You know, it's just anyway. Let me get off of that. We'll talk about it
next
more
next week.
Yeah. On a happier note, definitely going to catch up on all these Andor episodes. I was pleasantly surprised that they dropped 3 at one time. You know, I'll be watching some NBA playoffs, even though my fucking Warriors lost tonight. And hopefully I'll get on a little bit more Monster Hunter with Old Ninja and a few other folks. But yeah, I'm just, you know, doing my thing. Oh, I am reading one book. Real quick shout out. It's actually it's going to be a heavy read for a lot of people if they do decide to read it, but it's called Medical Apartheid. I picked that one up, and it's all about like this long history of racism in medicine here in this country, and it just goes into a lot of really good details on it. I like good nonfiction, but it's a heavy fucking read.
I know I know you love nonfiction, but there's like a book that I'm reading right now that's called "Tender is the Flesh," and it's fiction, but it's like on like a near future sort of deal where like basically all like animal meat is like diseased, and so like humanity decides to just like become cannibals, and they differentiate like people from like humans and like basically like meat. They call them heads, and they basically refer to them as like kind of like cattle. Damn. And they'll just raise them to like just for meat. It's very fucking gross. It's like one of the most disturbing books I've ever fucking read in my entire life.
Damn,
it's really fucked up. But like how far people will go to like just get meat. I'm just like, bro, like if I couldn't eat animal meat, I'm okay with being like a vegan. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna go to like eating people.
Yeah.
So, but in this book, they're eating people, and it's like it gets even grosser than that. So, yeah.
Goddamn. All right. I would say take us out, old ninja, but he ain't here. So take us out, Kr0nus.
Oh, okay. You can reach us at Black of the Black Times Infinity on YouTube, Twitch, SoundCloud, Instagram, Facebook. Our website is benhabproductions.soundcloud.com. Got it right this time. Yeah, we're on Twitch. We're basically everywhere. If we're not somewhere, then just like let us know, and like we'll be on that. So.
We are not in the 19-year-olds DMs though. No,
we are not. Actually, I think there was a very young lady that was in my DMs for a minute, and I was like, "Ma'am, no." And she was actually an OnlyFans person. I'm like, I am not going to pay to talk to you, ma'am. Like, that's not going to happen.
Nope.
Yeah, and she seemed way too young anyway, because I'm an older person. I'm a statesman. I have real world value. Not that she doesn't, but I'm just saying. I got a 401k. You don't. Anyway, yeah, I think that's normally what he says, right? All those things.
Something like that.
All right, y'all. Keep it dank. If you're sad, watch something happy. Just saying.
Touch grass.
Touch grass. Yes. Touch grass, not 19-year-old ass. Pro tip. Shannon Sharp. Stop.
In penetrating further and further into the unknown vastness of space. Yet many questions remain unanswered.